Everybody else just sick and tired of all the fucking doom and gloom. Just day in, day out, year after year. It's like when the new year comes around, it's like, oh, next year's gonna be, the best year ever, and it's the same, if not worse, than the year before. I mean, this year it's just turned February, and there's plane crashes, there's more wars, there's fucking just people dying everywhere, and somehow the social media fucking gurus out there have got a nice way of making it feel like it's all your fault. Like the way the word things, or these type of people, they like to put people in boxes and pigeonhole everybody, and oh, well, this group of people are doing that, or this group of people are saying this. Can we not just all just fucking get on with it, man? Jesus Christ. What's so hard about just being happy? I'm fucking bored of hearing the same old bullshit. It's your fault. It's never their fault, is it? Never the millions and billionaires' faults. Or it's always the little people. Whether it's the mentally fucking ill, or the physically disabled, or the trans or LGBT. It's someone's fault. It's never their fault. Whether it's immigrants, or it's just never theirs. Even though they're the ones who set all the fucking rules. Fucking tired of it.
And one other thing I'll be doing very early in the administration is closing up the Department of Education in Washington, D.C., and sending all education and education work and needs back to the states. We want them to run the education of our children because they'll do a much better job of it. You can't do worse. We spend more money per pupil by 3 times than any other nation, and yet we're absolutely at the bottom. We're one of the worst. So you can't do worse. We're going to end education coming out of Washington, D.C. We're going to close it up, all those buildings all over the place, and you have people that in many cases hate our children. We're going to send it all back to the states. Thank you very much.
So I'm signing this, and I'm unhappy to do it, but I really have not so much choice because we have to be strong and firm, and I hope that it's not going to have to be used in any great measure at all. It'd be great if we could have a Middle East and maybe a world at total peace. We don't want to be tough on Iran. We don't want to be tough on anybody, but they just can't have a nuclear weapon.
Mr. President, you guys are engaged in conversations with your counterpart in Iran?
I would.
And why say that you're unhappy to sign it if it's Iran and their proxies who have threatened to retaliate against you and your team by killing you guys for taking out Soleimani?
Well, they haven't done that, and that would be a terrible thing for them to do. Not because of me. If they did that, they would be obliterated. That would be the end. I've left instructions. If they do it, they get obliterated. There won't be anything left. And they shouldn't be able to do it. And Biden should have said that, but he never did. I don't know why. Lack of intelligence, perhaps. But he never said it.
Mr. President, when you said if they do it, they get obliterated. Just to be clear, you're talking about if Iran made an attempt on your life.
Yeah, that would be called total obliteration.
In the TPS termination notice, DHS said in Venezuela there are notable improvements in several areas such as the economy, public health, and crime that allow for these nationals to be safely returned to their home country.
Conditions have not changed, actually have getting worse.
At a press conference in Doral Monday, Venezuelan Americans denounced the Trump administration and South Florida Republicans.
More than betrayed. Beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that he was not going to touch the documented people.
Thousands of Venezuelans living in the United States with temporary protected status face an uncertain future. According to government documents obtained by the New York Times, the Trump administration has ended TPS for nearly 300,000 Venezuelans. Those who receive the protections in 2023 will lose their temporary status 60 days after the government publishes the termination notice. Venezuelan activist Beatriz Olavarria says members of the community are shocked and trying to figure out next steps.
There's a lot of people trying to see what to do, because returning would be almost suicidal in a way, because some of those people that are here that have spoken, about the situation in Venezuela in cameras and everywhere, and they are, important in that sense. If they set a foot in Venezuela, they will be jailed.
President Donald Trump's administration officially revoking the extension of temporary protected status for Venezuelans currently living in the United States. And this leaves some with 60 days to leave the country. Local 10's Bridget Matters joining us live from Doral tonight with more on how this will affect people in South Florida. Bridget. And this is a big development. More than 600,000 Venezuelans here in the United States under temporary protection status could face deportation. Hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans under temporary protection status, otherwise known as TPS, could face deportation. According to the New York Times, Donald Trump has made the decision to revoke TPS. The program aims to protect people leaving countries suffering under socioeconomic, political, and/or environmental crisis. Under President Nicolas Maduro, millions have fled the country as the government continues to unravel. President Donald Trump addressed TPS recipients in South Florida.
We want to see what we can do to get people back in their homeland safe and free, and all. He's meeting with a lot of different people, but we are for the people of Venezuela. We're for the Venezuelan Americans. If you look at it, we have them all in Florida, right around the Doral area. That's where.
In 2020, an exclusive organization for the world's most powerful people, called Stakeholders, enacted a 10-year transition to a global authoritarian political system called stakeholder capitalism.
It's the funeral of shareholder capitalism, and it's the birth of stakeholder capitalism.
You have shown us the way forward.
One of their agendas by 2030 is to own the food supply chain.
Bill Gates became the largest individual owner of farmland.
According to their reports, this is what they want us to eat.
GMO wheat. Every piece of corn I've ever eaten is GMO corn. So these are things that billions of years of using these products have been done. These are proven products.
The stakeholders have an initiative to ban livestock.
Cows alone account for about 6% of global emissions. So we need to change cows.
And increase our consumption of
Artificial meat, like Impossible or Beyond Meat, both of which I invested in.
We'll have the convenience of printing it from our homes. Or luckily for us,
Today, the European Commission has officially declared mealworms to be food.
we can choose real meat that's climate change friendly.
Mealworms, crickets, grasshoppers. These tiny insects, just over 2 centimeters long, could be key to feeding the planet.
As the stakeholders continue to scare us with their climate change propaganda,
Climate change.
it threatens to tip tens of millions of people over the edge into food insecurity, followed by malnutrition, mass hunger and famine in a crisis that could last for years.
We also exposed the World Economic Forum's initiatives.
The Netherlands will host the World Economic Forum Food Innovation House.
That are designed to remove ownership of family farms.
This means turfing people off their farms.
Massive farmer protests have broken out around the Netherlands.
Thousands of farmers have been protesting on the outskirts of Delhi. Trudeau is not alone. Leaders from 4 countries, they want governments like India to scrap farmer-friendly laws.
Good evening. Farmers all over the country walked off the paddock today and took their tractors to town.
Every fat farmer you see here today will be gone by 2030.
Hundreds of French farmers drove their tractors to Paris.
Last weekend, once again, I had a colleague who killed himself. You're not the only farmer with this problem. Farmers are heartbroken, absolutely heartbroken, and they don't know where to turn.
Thousands of farmers from southeast Mercia.
Or from all over Ireland, we have no option. We are not paying carbon tax.
Hundreds of farmers have driven their tractors into the centre of Belgium's capital. Thousands of farmers from across Germany descended on the city. When we all have to go, where does the food come from? Our food security is in grave danger. To watch our free documentary about stakeholder capitalism and help fund an investigation into the stakeholders' plan for acquiring the food supply chain, visit yellow.forum.
Guys, after what happened for the past 2 weeks, I've come to the conclusion that I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of working 40 hours a week at my job because that's not normal. Also, I gotta work 40 hours a week and still not get paid enough to live. And that's also not normal. So at this point, I don't care. I'm fucking done with this country. And with Trump's tariffs, that's gonna make a lot of the simple things more expensive. So if the amount of money that I'm getting paid from working is not going to compensate for the things that I have to buy, like groceries and food and things I need to live as a normal human being, then what's the point of working if my wages is not going to go up? I don't understand. I'm tired of this shit. What is the point? Where's our limit? Where is our limit? And when are we going to reach that limit before all of this shit stops? Someone please tell me that we're going to reach our limit very, very, very soon. Because I'm tired of this fucking shit.
What's up?
Somebody to fucking tell me they're lying. I need somebody to fucking tell me they're lying. I need somebody to fucking tell me they're lying right fucking now. Because what the fuck do you mean that I'm not gonna get my fucking SNAP benefits? What the fuck do you mean? Because what the fuck is happening? Do you understand that there are people like me who cannot work? Do you understand there are people like me who have kids who cannot eat? Do you understand there are people like me who go hungry the last week of the month just so my kids can't eat? Because SNAP benefits is all we fucking get. I need somebody to please fucking tell me he's lying. I can't.
What the fuck am I gonna do? Oh, fuck. Oh, God, breathe, breathe.
You do realize that the United States can't fight a war against Russia, China, and Africa with only the UK, Australia, Canada, and Japan as its allies. Maybe some other small countries, but even South America doesn't like us. So it's like, I don't know, we're outnumbered. I think we should try some diplomacy, and we should try being nice for a while. Maybe.
What's going on, TikTok family? Just want to let y'all know that you might as well get you a bag of popcorn and get ready. Movie started. Yep, the movie started. Things are just going to simply play out from here on forward. Get ready. Be prepared. Things are just going to get stranger. That's just how it is. Times are changing. But definitely, death by 1,000 cuts. Death by 1,000 cuts. Death by 1,000 cuts. Slowly and methodically, right in front of us. Just be ready.